Yeah, hold on. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all viewers, for joining. Here with us today, we have the Ajiboyes, and today's program will be awesome. I don't know how to put it better than that. We've been trying to get across to them for quite some time, but we just thank God that they are available here today for us. Join with me today as I made welcome Mr. Should I put it that way? No. Engineer and Dr. Ajiboyes. A round of applause.
Ow, that's a great one.
So,
you're welcome, sir. You're welcome, ma.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma.
Good evening, everybody.
Marriage is beautiful. With SeyiFunmi.
Yeah.
This is
Marriage is Beautiful.
Marriage Affair with SeyiFunmi. We want to appreciate you for coming and want to welcome you. The Lord bless you. Thank you so much. So before we go on, any other thing?
Yeah, well, no, you can go on. I know you have some juicy parts. You always ask the madam.
Holy Spirit, help me. Okay.
Okay, Holy Spirit.
Let me.
Yeah, women sorrow. Pepper.
Let me start from asking. Okay, let's start from engineer. I call him Bishop anyway. Let's start from Bishop John. Okay, can you show us? Maybe we should put it this way. Let me put it better. Like you should retoast Dr. Funmi. We want to see just.
Not talking, no. Yes, I know. But
it's just
engineer.
No problem. Yes,
John.
There's a way he started now. So
okay.
we want him to show to us how he started. Like it can be in word, it can be in whichever way you want to do it. We just want, or it can be in song, any way you want to do it.
We just want to see a retoast.
Retoast package. Retoast package. This time, just for, let me say, 30 seconds.
Okay.
Thank you. Now we're waiting. The time is counting.
Well, let me say it's more of being friends together for some time, and
sir, I'll put a stop to that. I told you before. We are not
asking to woo me again.
Dr. Funmi, 30
Let's
seconds.
do it in practical. Oni retoast me.
No, baby. I know you are going to tell me now that Abike, why did I come? And the reason for coming. But each time I see you, my heart they do tingaling. And you know, all those times we were playing in church when I was doing drama, all those drama I was doing, I was taking one night to look at you, see, and I have prayed. Well, honestly, I have prayed, but like the Bible says, who find it? So I'm finding you now, not that I dream. See my own trusting.
It's so long.
I just want you to be my wife, Rabbi. All right.
Be my wife, BMW.
I want to marry you.
Should we ask Dr. Funmi to toast?
Why would Dr. Funmi toast?
Okay.
Bishop will not know toasting. The bishop of our time.
The question to.
No, it's okay.
Well, in brief, I've been observing you for some time.
That's what I want to see.
I feel like we can really have a future together.
You feel like, or you think?
Just see the way Sister Dr. Funmi is blushing. Imagine, oh my, you did wonderfully, brilliantly good, sir. That's what I'm expecting, and that's great. So somebody will not tell me that Bishop doesn't talk, sir. You talk.
Bishop will talk you.
I love that.
Whoever says Bishop is not talking doesn't know Bishop very well.
I love that. God bless you, sir. Okay, let's move to Dr. Funmi now. Doctor, we want you to show to us, okay, if Bishop is angry, let me put it that way. If he's angry and you want to tell him sorry, but you're not going to use the word sorry, how will you do it? It can be in word, it can be in action. How will you do it without using the word sorry? You can say it anyhow, Prophet, but at least don't use the word sorry. Just say it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Are you still hungry? Are you okay?
I will
Exactly.
Oh, deep. She said exactly because you are hearing that's experience, like you have been. I love that. Are you still angry? I'm learning new thing now. Are you still?
So you ask me, are you still angry?
Bros,
No, once you use bros,
okay, bros. Now, now.
Cool down.
That's great. That's great. God bless you. Can you move on, sir?
All right. This is Marriage Affair with SeyiFunmi.
Yeah.
Brought to you live by Marriage is Beautiful. And here we discuss marriage and things around marriage. I would like our guests to understand one thing. We say it the way it is. We don't rub pancake. Is it pancake on it? We don't try to sweeten it. We explain marriage on day-to-day basis. We don't try to spiritualize it. Everything is spiritual, sure. But we want to talk about the basis of marriage, the day-to-day life we live. Not the one we live in church, not the one we live outside there, but the one we live inside between ourselves. So, and we will start with this. There is always a question we start with, and we are still going to ask that question. I'm going to ask Madam, and my wife will ask our dear engineer. In one word, just one word, how do you see marriage?
Well, let me go with the slogan of this special program. It might be difficult to describe marriage in a word, but I would say marriage is beautiful if you marry the right person. So marriage is beautiful if you marry the right person. Fantastic. I'll give you my mark later. Okay. Correct answer. The format wasn't followed. All right.
Yeah, sir, some question goes to you, sir. How do you see marriage, sir?
Thank you, Ma.
In one word.
In one word, I'll say marriage is sweet.
Oh,
if you make the right choice.
Sweet. All right. Una both try you. That's what I'm going to do. Una both try, but I no get the answer.
No, he got it. So marriage is sweet. Sweet.
Marriage is sweet.
Okay,
one word.
Sweet.
In case of next time, my answer, when we say give divine marriage in one word, we know it's very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's why we say it that you do it that way. You will just tell us, Madam said beautiful. The word should have been beautiful.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
And sweet. Beautiful. Sweet.
What would have been sweet? So that is one word. Define marriage in one word. Sweet and beautiful. So marriage is like a candy.
Wow.
Yes, sweet, just like a candy.
And lollipop.
I didn't say that too.
That's a good one.
I didn't. Can we appreciate people that are online right now?
Okay.
Okay. Let's see it. No comments yet. No, we want to appreciate. We have right now. We have 10 people online, and we want to appreciate them.
Someone is saying hi. Hello. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kunle Odineye. And our viewers will be expecting them to pop in later along with the show. I'll ask the very first question. All right, I'll ask the very first question. And my first question here is selflessness simply means being concerned with the need of your spouse more than that of yourself. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, if selflessness means being concerned with the need of your spouse more than yourself, but in the world today, where everybody is becoming self-centered, the world today, everybody is becoming self-centered. Do we still agree, or do you still agree, sir, Ama? I'm asking man now. Do you still agree that selflessness is a reality in marriage, considering the level of selfishness that is going on right now? So over to you, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, I would say, irrespective of what is going on around us, irrespective of how the world defines marriage, the purpose of God for marriage still stands. And there is no way we can outrightly rule out selflessness when it comes to marriage, when it comes to a beautiful relationship, a godly relationship. And for any marriage to be beautiful, to work well, that means both parties must not be concerned with themselves alone. They must be ready to come together and focus on the needs of one another. Okay, let's look at the vow we usually take during wedding program. And that is what most of us don't usually take cognizance of. You know, when you're taking the vow, you say for better, for worse, though the word has been taken away recently. They will say for good, for better, for all those things. But if you look at the word intensely, you discover that you're trying to tell your spouse that I will be there for you, whether it is easy, it is comfortable or not, whether everything is going well or not, I will be there. And that the word we are trying to tell each other at that moment is I will be selfless. I will focus on your needs. I will bring the best out of you. So it is not about what the world, we should not base our marriage on what the world is at the moment. We should base our own on what is the standard of God, what is the purpose of God, what are the promises we made when we were coming, when we agreed to be one. And that is what we should focus on. And that is, it's all about being selfless. It's all about selflessness, taking the purpose of one another, and not just thinking about yourself, but considering being great with your spouse and everything that will make the home to work.
We're supposed to move to engineer, but from the word you just spoken right now, I want to bring something out, which will be my next question before we'll call engineer John to speak. You said it used to be for better, for worse, but now we are sweetening it, and we don't want the worst aspects, and we're saying for better, for best, or whatever they say. Now, my own question is, do you believe in for better, for worse, or for better, for best? Why do you think we should still be using for better, for worse, other than what they are trying to package now, that for better, for best? Do you believe? Why do you think we should still be using that?
So whether you package, okay, it's like you go to the market to buy a potty for your child. If you like, decorate it. If you like, give it a beautiful flower or something. The use is still for the child to defecate inside it. So whether you say for good, for the good part, irrespective of the packaging, the point is there will still be some challenging moments in marriage. The reality will soon show up. And marriage is not always it's not always bed of roses like that. There will be time that you'll be happy together. There will be time that you argue. There will be time that you have issues or challenging situations to deal with. So it's
Okay.
the earlier we are being sincere with ourselves, the better. It's not that we are saying, okay, we are trying to bring maybe curses on the marriage or something. No. When we say for better, for worse, we are just telling ourselves that irrespective of what happened in the marriage, we will stand still and we'll focus on bringing out the best in the home.
So what we're saying is we should be sincere with ourselves and agree that it is not just for better for best. There will always be a worst moment in marriage, and that's what marriage is all about. I will agree with you 100%, ma, but we are deceiving ourselves when we say it is for better for best. Because in life there is always a two side. There are always two sides to a coin. So when we have the good side, we have the not so good side. We should be able to stick with one another, whether it is good or it is not so good. So trying to sweet talk that word for better for best is just like deceiving ourselves, because there will always be two sides to everything. And over to you, sir. The same question goes to you. The same question still goes to you, that selflessness, they say, is the center for marriage. That's what marriage is all about. But if you consider the world now with selfishness that is paramount, that is going on, do we still believe that marriage can still be selfless?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, Ma. The truth of the matter this evening is that a successful marriage will go along with the word selflessness, because it being synonymous to being sacrificial. And for marriage to be successful, both parties, the spouse must be ready to be selfless. Looking at the God intention for marriage, we could see that there was a particular need in the life of a man, and God saw that it was not good. So the God concept of marriage is trying to solve the need of a man, in which he brought the woman to complement and be a help for him. So for this help to really be help, it has to be sacrificial and it has to be selfless. For Bible says, I have to refer to that, a man shall leave his parents and cleave to his wife. It's a selfless heart. When we look at the journey of Rebecca, we realize that they asked her, will you follow this man? And she said yes. She immediately followed. And we realized that he journeyed with him. And in the journey of life, couples, both spouses have to be sacrificial in nature to be able to bring out the best in each of them. Definitely, a successful marriage will not really be a successful marriage without the word sacrifice. So for me, or to buttress what my beautiful wife just said, it's really in line with the question.
Wow.
Junction, I will pause and read some of the comments here from Welcome Noye Aworum. I don't know whether I pronounced the name very well, but forgive me if I didn't. Noye Aworum, thank you very much. The first thing he said, or she said, is selflessness only exists in dictionary. Practically, we can't find its application in most marriages. Well, I will look into that word in one way. she said it only occur in dictionary, but while she was going on, he said we can't find it in most marriage. She didn't use all marriage. That means she still believed that one way or the other, selflessness still exists. So for not using all marriage, that means she agreed that in some there is still selflessness. Now the next thing she put here is life, he said, is a mixture of better and worse. Challenges in marriage is natural and inherent. It is sheep deceit. Say for better, for best.
Yeah.
Confirm. Correct.
Correct and confirm.
And the word for better, for best, I think, yeah, like she said, that is a deceit. It's a serious one, because nowadays you hear for better to stay, for worse to go. Everybody, like, we don't really see the good side of marriage anymore. If it is not working, then I leave. If it is working, I stay and enjoy it. So if it is not working, I leave. And this issue has put a lot of families, has jeopardized a lot of life, especially the children. You see, you have a better way of putting it. They say, it's the grasses that are there that will suffice. So many children, goes through a lot of things in life because their parents were not there to guide them. And as a matter of fact, with time, when the time comes for them to go into marriage, that thing will still replicate itself, because no one was there to guide them out of that same mistake. You see, so a lot of things are happening that we need to look into as we grow. Like, as we grow in marriage, for us, until, like, marriage is not what it's a university that you write the exam before you. It's like you write the exam, you take the certificate before you start writing the exam. So everybody is like, you don't really know where you're going to meet. You don't really know your courtship. You don't know you don't even know and some of these things, like, we feel like when you are courting, your spouse, you're living to your friend, your partner will try to keep so many things from you, especially the things that you said, I don't want my spouse to know this. You see, so in getting into marriage, you start seeing so many things, and you're like, I don't know that my spouse is like this. But if we have parents, if we have people that can guide along the line before the marriage, then it will be better. You see, this issue of selflessness, if you have someone that can say, see, as we are going, forget about you. First thing you do is first consider the need of your spouse, consider the needs of the people around you, consider the needs of the people. Like, I think for us, we feel like if we start teaching people at the early stage, as marriage goes, we will understand there to explain to us while we're growing. It's not as if they were not explaining to yourself, but nobody's going to sit down to explain better the way we see it these days. And we thank God that we are able to learn so many things along the line. But so many things, and there are people that still don't learn it, that they don't know it, right? So
that's deep. And I want to appreciate Noye Aworum. Yeah. He said, I'm a male and you pronounce my name very well. Wow. So everybody should clap for me. At least I did pronounce the name very well. I was actually going to say he, and my wife said she.
I heard Noye. So
okay. So thank you very much. He said, thanks for this program. It is insightful. We really appreciate it. We need your feedback. Yeah. And viewers at home right now, I want to please share this program right now. Invite people. Send the link to someone that need to learn something. Today's program is really loaded, and we still have a lot of questions to ask, and I believe our doctor and our engineer, they are up to the task. Now,
Bishop.
Okay, my wife said Bishop. My wife said Bishop. So sorry for saying engineer, Bishop. My Lord Bishop.
Engineer
Bishop.
Yeah.
Bishop or engineer Bishop.
Whichever way. Brother.
Okay, bro, Bishop, engineer. BBB.
Yeah,
I love that. Wow. I love that. Bro, Bishop, Engineer John, BBBJ. I love that. Now, I think I'll move to the next question. I think my wife will ask that question number. Yeah.
So
number three.
Yeah. Question number 3. So I will ask you first. He or she is prone to anger, but they say selflessness is accepting him or her for who he or she is. Is it right? Is it right to say that?
We have a question from the spouse. Somebody, one of the spouse is prone to anger, but they were telling the other spouse that selflessness is accepting him or is accepting her for who she is or who he is. Is it right?
Yeah.
Well, like we were saying in the beginning, from the word selflessness, it means trying to give consideration for the other and making the concern of the other, of the spouse, to be of one's priority. It will be very good for a spouse to look at some of the issues that really may likely be causing the other spouse, the partner, to be hungry, and try to see how he could or she could help the situation. As a matter of fact, it could also go to the point of tolerating the person and looking for means of avoiding situations that usually bring such unwelcome situation into their home. For instance, making him to be hungry or making her to be hungry. He or she could also go to the point of praying for the other party to really ensure that such things that makes him or makes her to be hungry are really not coming to place. By allowing the Spirit of God more into their system, by praying to God to let the selflessness, the selfishness, the negative part of nature, which could be like being hungry, taken away, will really solve the matter. So I would say it is all about trying to help the partner to overcome the particular challenge, such as being hungry, as part of being selfless as well, but must be constructive and prayerfully done.
Okay.
So, okay.
Yeah, I love the part where he says that, where you said that it must be done, like it must be done in prayer, like you pray before you do it, because sometimes you don't really know how to come out, because you're like, okay, how should I go into this? Where should I start from? What should I tell him? What should I tell her? How do I say it that she will welcome it or he will welcome it, you know? So the first thing I see, like, I really want to appreciate the fact that you said you pray, like, so that God can direct your mind that, okay, and first thing, how should I enter his heart? How should I enter his mind? How will I be able to capture his heart that he will be able to understand me, or she will be able to understand me? Thank you, sir, for that. And
wow. So I'll ask the same question, man. He is prone to anger, and they are telling me that it is selflessness in marriage. Considering the fact that some of this tantrum and anger issue might be destructive, do you still agree, ma, as somebody in the medical line, do you still agree, ma, that even if he is prone to anger, it is called marriage, it is selflessness, I should risk my life and allow him, okay, bulldoze my life, bamboozle my life, I don't know what English you use, probably beat me up, you know, do everything. It's still selflessness, because we want to be realistic. It's selflessness.
Yeah, sure.
And in marriage, you have to be selfless. So even if he's beating me up, I should be happy, smile, and say,
of killing the spouse.
Oh, okay. Even if my life is at risk, it's still selflessness. I can take it. Over to you, man. That's the question.
When we talk about selflessness in marriage and being sacrificial in marriage, we are not saying that to the detriment of the person's life, especially when you know that your life is at risk or in trouble, you're not safe in the marriage. I think the person needs to seek for help. And like you said, sir, there are degrees to hunger. their tantrums. Some could, anger could just be like maybe he's keeping malice for this, he's not eating in the house, and to some it could be to the point of maybe destroying things and all those things. But the question I would like to ask is it just starting? Are you just noticing it? Because most of the time, okay, you will say, I love this person. There are some things you notice while you were courting. And you think, okay, let me just get married to this person. Maybe it would change. Maybe she would change when we get married. The moment you're telling yourself that you want to accept that person, that means you're saying, no matter what, you're ready to cope with it. Now, if it is not just starting, what are the coping mechanisms that you have taught yourself or that you have gathered for yourself? Okay, this person is not just getting into this tantrum is not just starting. It has been this for a while. Okay, how do I cope? How do I help him? Do I need to keep quiet when he's angry? Am I the cause? You need to look out for the cause. What are the cause? If it is something you can continue with, and your life, the life of the second party is not at risk, it's not like, oh, it's for it's the life is in jeopardy, so to say, then if you can cope with it, if it is something okay, this will work, then I will advise such a person to make it work. But if you know that, okay, this person needs help, anger could be some mental issue too, especially when it gets into the severe degree. If the person needs help, do I need to seek help? Do I need to counsel him? Do we need to communicate? There are different causes, but I think if they're able to resolve on knowing the cause, the partner might even be the cause unknowingly. I think they just need to look at, okay, what are the causes of this? Is this something we can adjust within ourselves? Do we need to seek for help? All those things. Now, the other time we're talking about conflict. There are different strategies of coping with conflict. There is issue of compromise. There is issue of accommodating. So you have to think, can I accommodate this level of anger? Do I need to reach a compromise for it to work? And if those questions are answered, then you will know that, okay, I can continue to sacrifice or no.
Wow.
So,
in fact, I really don't know what to say. That's what English word can I use? Society. Am I right? Yeah, perfectly put. There are degrees to angers. And for people out there will be a day we are still going to discuss whether it is legal to divorce. I know it will be a very hot topic. Some people are going to agree or disagree. We are still going to look into that. Is it really legal to divorce? Is it biblical? But like Dr. Funmi said, in case it is manageable, you have to manage it. And for the person, because that's a question, we normally put our own question and some of the questions that we have. That's a question that, okay, actually it is a he in that question. We just have to put it he or she, that he is prone to anger. And for the one that asks that question, please understand this. If it is manageable, manage it. If you are the one that is causing the anger, check yourself. But if it is not manageable, you have to see therapists to be able to do some anger therapies for the guy. I'll move to the next question. And the next question is a bit tactical in a way. There is a common saying, that selflessness is sacrifice. And while Engineer John was speaking the other time, he said selflessness is synonymous with sacrifice. I hold it in my hand. Say selflessness is sacrifice, but there is a limit to everything. Now, the question is, what can you not let go just in the name of selflessness? I'm talking to you personally now. I'll still come back to Dr. John, the Engineer John.
Same.
I'm putting it, so, but I'm talking to you, What is that thing that you cannot condone, you cannot accept, you will not accept it all in the name of selflessness, even in marriage?
Oh, well, well, it's a very deep issue, so to say, but let me answer by saying, if you understand the purpose in which you are in that marriage, if you understand the reason for you two coming together, and you are able to make it work, you are able to let it come into a reality, I think nothing should be difficult for any spouse to sacrifice in a marriage. Okay, let me put it this way. I know that for any of my husband's victory, I will be the benefactor.
Sure.
For every of his win, I'm also, if he wins, I'm winning. If he's happy, I am happy. If anything goes the other way too, it will invariably affect me. So that suggests that his happiness should be what I should work towards. That is what I should focus on. And vice versa. My own happiness too should be what he should focus on. So if that is the case, then nothing should be too big for me to sacrifice. Okay, let me cite this example that really touched me. I was listening to one minister, a pastor's wife, I think last week. And the woman was saying, I think the pastor was just giving a mom higher assignment in the ministry to be the youth, I think youth president of maybe Redeem. I can't really remember the post. And the wife said at a point that when she was praying, that she vowed and she was praying to God that, see, God, please, if this man should fail in this ministry, please hold me responsible. You know, for a woman to have said that, that means she's ready to go at any length to support the husband. She's ready to give all it takes to make the ministry work. Being sacrificial is not easy. A normal man will not even want to, but it takes the help of God. Let me just say, it takes the help of God to say, okay, I'm ready to give all for my husband. I'm ready to make him happy. I'm ready to make his purpose my purpose. I'm ready to make him win. When we see marriage as a win-win affair and not like a competition, or when we see it as a relationship in which we all need to make it grow, then nothing will be difficult for any spouse to sacrifice for the other. So let me now answer the question. I don't think there is nothing I cannot sacrifice for my husband.
Wow. Okay. So viewers at home, you heard there is no point that it can be, no, I'm done. I don't think I can do this. So whatever Engineer John asks, Dr. Funmi can do. So like, if I can echo a word, my limousine is yours. The totality of me is yours. My salary, my bank account is yours.
Exactly.
The whole of my body is yours. Everything about me is yours. So some people say it is not possible, but you had it today directly from the horse's mouth, from from our guest that says it is possible. So I'm going to move to Brad John.
Yeah.
He wants me to call him Brad John. So I'm going to move to Brad John and ask Brad John, please, is there anything that you can't let go, all in the name of selflessness?
Well, thank you very much, sir. I will definitely say that there is nothing that I cannot let go. And I'm saying that because of the understanding that I believe we have. Like we said in the beginning, there is this understanding that we got from beginning of our coming together. God's intention about marriage for God to institute marriage, there is a purpose in the heart of God. So that particular purpose, and this as it says, if the purpose of a particular thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So the intention of God is to make a home for him. So in such a godly home, we need to apply the principle of God to it. So that principle, which I know of, has enabled me to come to the point in my life to say that whatever it takes, I'm ready to give. And knowing the purpose of God for marriage is not even sufficient if one is not ready to be obedient to the principles that set up the marriage. So for a godly marriage, like in which we are today, that we started, there is nothing that I cannot let go, like Christ did for the church. Christ is the perfect example that we have, and the church. Christ laid down his life. He even said in a place, he said, no greater love than this that any man can do for another person than laying down his life. So that is where we have our marriage concept from. And we were thoroughly brought up to know the situation before we enter into it. So for me, as God will help us, as we continue to pray for his grace to sustain us, definitely there is nothing that we cannot let go for the purpose of our successful marriage.
Wow.
That's thick, that's deep. And if I can also get you right, your Rolls Royce is us.
Yes, definitely.
That amount of money in that bank account belongs to her.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's
you know why?
I should be.
Yeah. You know why I'm bringing this up? We had a discussion with a friend last week. Yeah. In one of my friends' marriage group, and one of the reasons that actually caused a fight between the husband and the wife is this: the husband came back home with a brand new car and handed the key to the wife. This is my gift for you. Have it. And the wife took the key and checked the papers, and the name on the car was is the husband's name.
Oh.
Not her name. And she said, no, it doesn't belong to me. Take your car. And the husband said, but I bought it for you. It is yours. Yeah. And up to today, they are still, it's actually, they are still settling the matter. The wife refuses to take the car. The husband gets angry and is causing a lot of issue in the house. Now, that will be some discussion for another day. But in essence, what we are seeing over there is that it belongs to her, but it doesn't belong to her. Understanding. There should be an understanding inside it. So, viewers at home, what the Ajiboyes made us to understand tonight is there is virtually nothing, and that goes to life. Because when you say there is nothing, even to the extent of life, there is nothing I can lay down for my wife, or there is nothing I can lay down for my husband. We really appreciate you in this period when selfishness is enjoying more glorious spotlight than selflessness. And if somebody can still say unto my wife and unto my husband everything I give, I want to appreciate that person. Thank you so much. I think we move to the next question.
Yeah. Now, the next question, sir, I'm going to ask you first. Sexual drive and desire differs in spouses. Realizing my body.
Releasing, right?
Oh.
I think releasing.
Yeah, I guess Releasing my body when I don't, releasing my body when I don't even feel like is part of selflessness in marriage. Do you agree or disagree to this? Can I come again, sir, or do you understand the question?
Yes, ma. I am trying to understand the question. If I may get the question right.
Let me come again.
Let
me come again, sir.
Okay, you can come again.
Sexual drive and desire differs in spouses. Releasing my body when I don't even feel like is part of selflessness in marriage. Do you agree or disagree to this?
Yes, I agree, and at the same time, I will give my reasons, and I'll find a common ground. Coming to sexual intimacy in marriage, I believe that it's for satisfaction, it's for relaxation, it's for enjoyment. That should be something that the both should have a mutual understanding about. So I would say the couple should definitely find a common ground on the issue of sexual intimacy. Sometimes the husband may feel like, okay, I feel like I desire this, I want this, and the wife is not ready, maybe not in mood, not okay for such. Then they both need to discuss and really look at what actually is the issue. Okay, a no is taken for no from the other partner if indeed there is a circumstance or situation that warrants the other party, I mean the spouse, to say no. And at the same time, they could shift ground and say, okay, I think this issue came up sometimes ago, the issue of Jerusalem of the thing. If I can use the word, the extra word.
The trip to Jerusalem.
Yes, trip to Jerusalem. So it could be a wrong timing on the part of the husband asking for this. At the same time, the wife could be tired. It could be issues of life, money issues, job issues. We both left since money coming back, and we got somebody entry. So we need to really discuss and find out what really is the matter. Although from a biblical point of view or from godly point of view, they both have access to each other body, but still, I would say reaching a compromise, finding a common ground is still the solution to solve several issues. No, may not even be only sexual issue, it could be money issue or any other thing. They have to still be able to reach a compromise, and that is the way forward to that every time, all day.
All right, before I move on that, or before we move on, I want to appreciate Oyeni Rokola Wole Joseph. And he said, I almost missed out. You've not missed out, you are still here. And I also want to, where are we? We are still in Marriage Affairs with SeyiFunmi. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And we have Engineer John and Dr. Funmi here trashing out the issue of selflessness in marriage. And Francis Marion says something.
He retracted it.
Yeah, he retracted it, but I knew the thing. He said, what you said is okay, but in reality, it's not always that way.
Right.
There are always some few things that you can't do.
Okay.
That you can't give. Although the message is retracted, but that's how well I can frame it. He said, Oga John, see, it's good to say it, but in reality, it doesn't go that way. And I will also agree with him that it may not go that way in 100% in some home.
Yeah.
Like if Abraham asked Sarah that, please allow me to take Isaac to go and sacrifice. I'm not sure. It wasn't recorded that way. I'm not sure that Sarah will agree to that. And why did I feel Sarah will not agree to that?
Right.
Abraham did not have the boldness to ask Sarah for that. So if we look at it in some way, there must still be some point which somebody will say, no, selflessness, this is your limit. Selflessness, you don't go beyond here. Selflessness, this is the point where you stop in this marriage. Well, that is yeah. Discussion. And I have Ajiboyes here saying, good discussion. We really appreciate everybody that is online. A massive turnout today. We are still going to ask the question.
Yeah. Same question. Sister Funmi.
Before you ask Sister Funmi, can I say this? Please, can we stop believing that it has to be the man that wants it and the man is saying no? Sometimes there are opposites in that area. Yeah. We have a guest here. Sometimes ago that was saying, okay, I love it, I want it, and my husband does. So don't let us just stereotype it. Yeah, so that we don't believe that, okay, it's always the man that wants to ask. The trip to Jerusalem is like no. Sometimes with the man like
mostly men.
Mostly alone. They are
mostly sleeping.
All right,
go. Okay. Yes, Dr. Funmi, same question comes to you. I'm going to repeat the question so that you can understand better. It says sexual drive and desire differs in spouses. Releasing my body when I don't even feel like is part of selflessness in marriage. Do you agree or disagree? Thank you.
Well, if we will discuss if we answer the question rightly, if we'll be sincere with ourselves, especially each spouse will be sincere with themselves.
Yeah.
Let's talk reality now. We'll discover that most of the time, it's always one that will first initiate it. So it's not always the fact that the two desires it at the same time. No. It's either, okay, one have an urge, the other is not ready. Okay, the other one tried to maybe bring the interest of the other into it. So if you are waiting for the perfect time in which the two of you will now have the desire or the urge, that means maybe once in a year or twice. Or no.
Oh my.
It might not even happen because you have different thoughts, you have different issues. One is happy today, the other one is thinking about money tomorrow, the other is. So it will always be one that we. So if the other partner is saying no, that is you understanding your partner comes in. You have to know why she's saying no. My husband knows that sometimes when I say no, my no is not really genuine. It's because maybe I just need some.
Wow. Yes. I'm enjoying this.
Go ahead.
I'm enjoying this. So we now, men, sometimes when we say no, the no is not genuine.
Okay, we'll press further.
Just trying to package. Yeah, sometimes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So don't let me interrupt. Please go ahead.
Maybe there are some issues that have not been solved. It might just be what the wife needs at that point is just sorry. It might be you need to maybe tip or say, okay, don't worry, I'll give you that money. And that will be it. So
now you're talking. I like money. I like money.
You have to, and the same thing is applicable to the woman too. Okay, maybe your husband is saying no. Are there some emotional disturbances? Are there some issues? You have to know why. We just need to reach a compromise. Okay, she wants it. I don't feel like it's the right time. If there is no maybe major health issue or something, and you are okay, there should always be the party should always reach a compromise to it.
Yeah.
Because you can't have the perfect timing, not really come.
And it will not come.
Wow.
That's a perfect answer. I love the way Dr. Funmi put it. Like, there's no perfect time to go to Jerusalem. You understand me? Like this, there's not going to be, you're not going to sit down and say, okay, I'm waiting. Yeah, so make that time perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Funmi. And any other people?
Yeah, before we move ahead, I want to say this. Some people will think, why do we find a way to bring the trip into every discussion.
Yeah.
We want to tell you out there today that two major things or three major things are causing problem in marriage.
Money.
Number one, money. Number two, the issue of respect.
Yeah.
Number three, the issue of sex. If you are able to conquer those three issues, respect, money, and sex. Now, if you talk about conflict in marriage, those three things are part of what will cause conflict. Conflict doesn't come in if those three things are settled. So we will continue to hammer on those three things. If you look at a man that is not happy, it's because the wife, he feels the wife is not respecting him enough. When there is money in the marriage, respecting the, you can't even respect somebody you don't love. So when people say, love and trust, listen, when you respect somebody, you will trust that person. It is only when you trust it. So respect, the issue of money and the issue of sex can never be overemphasized in marriage. We move to the next question, sir.
Yeah.
See, I sacrifice more. I want us to be, maybe this is where we are going to put a stop to it today. If we can move further, we will. Our time is fast. The way of saying I am more selfless in this marriage than you.
Yeah.
Good. It has never been concluded between spouses. Now, our question today, which I want both of you to trash out, is who is even more selfless in marriage? I know you will give me an option that depending on man and woman. Let's look at a lot of things women will tell us that we went through, we carry pregnancies and the rest of it. In your own opinion, it's being equal. That's where I want us to put it. All things being equal.
Who is talking first, my husband or? Don't let me say it's actually issue not to not to really deliberate or focus when there is the right foundation. When the foundation is right, we're talking about a godly home now. For the example you cited, you said, okay, a woman might want to say, I carry the pregnancy, I prepare the food, the husband is having, while the wife is carrying the pregnancy. You can't sleep, the husband too is not sleeping, you have issues, you are both solving the issues together. Yes, if we want to look at it from the point of, okay, who do this, who give this, who is more into it, we might want to say a woman gives more. He didn't mention me at all whenever he's praying. So, God, I will mention, when my husband is praying, I will be like, at the point I started monitoring on his body, you, this man, and all those things, like a typical woman would do. But that does, I pray, and I conclude that, okay, it's not praying. I might think it's selfish. I might think I'm the only one that is selfless in such a. So our definition for being selfless depends on, okay, what are you doing into the home? Can I see any good thing? Can I see any major thing that my husband is also laying for the home to work? And most of the time, it's not that the person that is saying is selfless is really perfect. They will say a lamb does not see its grace. You might want to say, okay, I'm selfless, I'm selfless, I'm selfless, I'm selfless. You might not really see what you are doing wrong in that home. But if you listen to the other party too, you will know that yes, there are some good things about this man. There are some perfect things, there are some sacrificial things that this other party too is doing. So it's all about the home we're talking about. It's all about the individual. What are those good things that you can see your spouse also doing? Are you the only one putting all into the home? Or you are just being sentimental about this? I wanted to be about the prayer thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great one. Today is hot, and honestly, I'm enjoying it. It's as if this program is for me personally, right? There's a comment here, a lot of accolade here for you. Temitope, wow, this is awesome. Yeah, and about all professor instead of a doctor. So you are taking more more positional, like She gives the perfect answer, analyzed to each question. Wow.
Analysis,
A lot of,
yeah.
Thank you. Abolaji, thank you. More knowledge, ma. Amen.
Yeah. Before I will allow Dr. Engineer John to speak, I want to say this, man. He doctor. Okay, she doctor and he doctor. Yeah. So before I will allow he doctor to talk, see, I want to say this. Let's not keep spiritualizing things and said, and be saying in a good Christian home. Even in a good Christian home with a good foundation, we still dey beef each other. Can I be truthful, man?
Yeah, sure.
We still dey beef each other.
Sure.
Even a pastor still dey beef in wife.
The beef pastor misses.
The pastor dey beef pastor misses.
An apostle misses.
I'll tell you one thing. When the children grow up now and they start giving things, they don't give pastor already, don't collect, he don't pray for a pikin. They can't enter room, as in entering room and give something to mommy. Pastor will still ask stylishly, mommy, this one that your child calls you into room to give, sometimes what the child is giving might not even be up to daddy. Yeah. But he knows that if I'm giving daddy 50,000 and I give mommy 20,000 in the presence of daddy, daddy will still take 10 out of the 20. So he will prefer to give the 20 inside the room to mommy and give 50 to daddy, because he know definitely mommy will take out of the 50. No way, no doubt about that. Now, I will not want us to spiritualize and say, okay, most times, okay, in a good Christian home, but do you realize that every single thing that happened in this world still happened in a Christian home? Husband and wife still fight in a Christian home. However, it might not go physical. They might have learned to control themselves that they will not beat each other. Yeah. In Christian home, we still disagree. In Christian home, we still go into conflicts. In Christian home, we still go sometimes not talking to each other
for some time.
So everything happened in a Christian home, but in a coded way. There has never been any perfect marriage, like you said, ma, and there won't ever be till Jesus come. Let's stop not deceive ourselves. And that's why I like two-edged sword there and there. And that's why the program is here. See, if you are coming to watch this program and you are expecting us to say something good about marriage always, and
it's good.
It's good. But we will still tell you what is inside marriage, that the one you need to hear. Pastor and Pastor Mrs. see they fight over trip to Jerusalem. I won't talk more. The question.
Fight or disagree?
Sometimes I fight too.
Really?
It's not physical fight. When you say it is disagree and then you greet bro in the morning and bro will not want to answer.
Up to that.
Sometimes you will not want to answer. I say, let's be realistic.
Okay.
It's not everybody that can take it. Some bro will not want to answer. And if he intended to give 200 that money, he will give 100 so that they say, I have given money. I've given it to the level you wanted before. But maybe if you give him the way you wanted in the night, what he will give in the morning might even be more than 200.
Wow.
He proposed before.
Wow.
So everything happened in a Christian home, but in a coded way. I rest my case, sir. Now the question goes to you, sir. Who sacrificed more? Please be plain with it. Because we are trying to dribble around this question.
Yeah.
See, who sacrificed more based on you? Like, I believe when my wife is pregnant, I am sacrificing more. You know why? Because even if yes, to me, that is more sacrifice. I love my sleep very well. But that emotional sacrifice is more than the pain she's bearing. And I will be asking the question. All right, go ahead, sir, so that we can round up for today.
Yeah.
Well, so many things has been said. I will say, on a general note, this issue of being one party, I mean, a spouse being more sacrificial compared to the other, it may be a bit we can say it is going to be on individual cases. It may be peculiar to a certain home. So on a general note, there could be a situation where the husband will be more sacrificial, will be more selfless, or in which he may be able to say is more sacrificial, is more selfless than the wife. At the same time, in another setup, it could be the wife that will be more sacrificial, like our host said just a few minutes ago, Pastor Sheyi. I realized that what he said is quite true. So it's on individual cases. It is applicable to individual in different setup. But let me come to a general point of view. From my little understanding, I would say women are more sacrificial, are more selfless in marriage. In a godly home, like we've been rightly saying from the beginning, there is a need in my life that God saw, and that is why I needed a wife. God is bringing the woman into my life to solve a part of my need. So definitely the wife is coming to the man's life as a complement, as an helpmeet. And what is the work of an helper? It comes to help the man. So I see it from that point of view that a woman most likely more sacrificial, selfless compared to the man. But that does not mean that the man should not stand like a figurehead, so to say, and be like, oh, as per God's injunction or as per God's advice, there is principle of submission and obedience. For instance, in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21, it's talking about both should be submitted, they should submit themselves to each other. Then it now comes to the wife. Wife submit to the husband. And he's talking about the husband to love the wife. So we cannot, we may not be able to define the level of the sacrifice that is involved, but both parties have to be able to be selfless and sacrificial. Okay, let's come to the part of the woman. I won't mention part of the man, maybe what man is doing, probably bringing food or something. But if a man and a woman is coming from work together, the woman will go to start to cook again, to provide for the house. All sorts of many things in the house to be done. But that does not mean the man should stay there without doing anything. But what I'm trying to say is, when we critically look at together, or let me say the husband that has gone to work, or one way or the other make provision, should the family provide for the family. So it is a mutual benefit, is a mutual sacrifice, is a mutual selflessness, out of selflessness, that the two parties are bringing in together. So in a godly home, like we've said, both complement each other. But on the surface level, in general, I will see a woman, a wife, being more sacrificial than the husband in most cases.
Wow.
I am not going to tell you that 100% I agree, and I'm not going to disagree, sir. Yeah, because at the end of the day, like you said, it is a mutual benefit. I remember when we did the biology, when we started doing biology, then we have what we call a symbiotic relationship. A relationship where two living organisms come together with a mutual benefit to one another. We synchronize ourselves with our ecology, and then we synchronize ourselves with ourselves, and we come out one rubbing the back of each other. This is the case with marriage. Sir, we need to go on, but we have to stop today. And already, it can't be one word answer.
Okay, they want to explain.
Yeah, they won't be the viewers. We have some few more questions, and we will say this. Even if you are not coming next week, you are not coming 2 weeks, wherever you stop, you pick it up later. I am not going to say I'm asking, because I know if I'm asking, it will always be Aimarono.
I promise.
So we are promising the viewers on behalf of Dr. Funmi and Engineer John. I am promising the viewers on behalf of them. At least they say it's my friend, so I can promise on behalf of my friends. Anyway, we don't want to rush it with one word answer, because everything you'll be saying all along has never been one word. We need the opportunity to continue this, and I believe that when the time comes, you will definitely give us the honor. There are still things to discuss. To round up today, I want to tell the viewers out there that selflessness is possible in marriage.
Sure.
Don't deceive yourself. Any marriage that you go into and you want to be selfish, you are not expected to be a married person. All this talk about I can do it. If you can do it, there is no need. If Adam can do it, there is no need for Eve. And if Eve is not ready to sacrifice her life, there is no need for her to be in that marriage. I'll tell you, selflessness started with when you change the name that you have been using for the past 20-something years and pick up the name of another person. When the certificate, you have to go and do an affidavit that, okay, this certificate, it was me, it's still tenable, but I no longer bear that name. Selflessness is when you leave the comfy of your parents' home and you move into, or your family, and you move into a home that may not be as comfortable as the one you are leaving behind. Selflessness is when that man who is used to just saying, it is late already, I can sleep over here in a friend's house, will no longer be able to do that and will say, let me go back home. I have somebody waiting for me. Selflessness is when you made that money as your salary and you can spend it for the rest of the family. See, selflessness is when both of you look together into the house and you said, okay, we need to buy this and this, but the children need this. Let's give them the opportunity. Selflessness is when you need to use that money for another thing, but you will give to your spouse. Both are equally and fantastically selfless. We will continue with that next time. Yeah. But before we go, everybody that is online now, can you give us a thumbs up? Yeah. Let's see that you are enjoying this and we're hearing you. We see a lot of comments and we are appreciating it. Thank you very much. And before you go, ma'am, we have this Ma and Sir. We have this wonderful box. How many questions are they going to pick?
We have four each.
4 each. Are they going to pick all the four? Okay, you are going to pick
1 to 3 pink for doctor and 1 to 4. No, 1 to 4.
Okay.
Questions here. The pink one for doctor. Then the white one is 1 to 4. So you can pick 1 to 3.
All right. Pick, ma.
Number 2 and 4.
Question 1.
Number 2 and 4. You are going to pick 3, ma.
Okay, 2.
Okay. 1 to 4.
1 to 4. Okay.
All right.
Okay, I think that is it. And sir, your own question, sir.
5, 7, 8.
No, 1, 2. It's still 1, 2, 3, 4 for you also, but it's in white.
Okay, let's pick 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. I love that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is 3. This is 2, and this is 1. Okay.
So I think let me pick how many.
She picked 1, 2, 4.
1 to 4.
1, 2, 4.
All right.
So I will read question number 1 for Engineer John.
Yeah.
Between both of you, please, you just have to do this. And if it is yourself, you point that thumb to yourself. Between both of you, who likes to win in arguments? When you start arguing, who wants to win? Who likes to be the one to always win the argument? Oh yeah, the thumb. Hey, no argument.
I've not seen the person. Let me adjust.
Why are you adjusting? You started that.
Okay.
We've seen it, Joe. See now, she's adjusting because I won't say anything.
Because you are the one to that always want to win argument.
Dem kó wá síta bí ọmọ ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ mà.
Ọmọ ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ yìí.
Ọmọ ọjọ́ mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún.
Ọmọ ọjọ́ mẹ́jọ. The first question goes to Dr. Funmi's question. Yeah. Who is the conversation starter? That's the first question. That question.
Who is the conversation starter?
Wow, I love that. At least, yes, that's good.
That's a good one. Now I'll go to question number 2. Between the two of you, who is likely to forget the anniversary and special dates? Bros, now only you are kako.
Now only you are kako.
Ask the next one. I think it will be Sister Funmi this time around.
Wow. Okay. Who spends more money?
Who like to spend more? Let me know whether it is still him. Who like to spend more? Okay. Okay, let's see this one. The two of you is more romantic.
Odi.
Yeah, deep go. No. You see? Sister Funmi, everybody okay. Leave that head off. I want to see that face. You. All right, the last one.
Running away. The lack of that marriage, because it's the one that is starting conversation. It's the one God is the pillar. Don't let me go.
All right.
Yeah. Wow. I got this question. Who loved the flight to Jerusalem most? No problem. Who? Dr. was answer question. I know the answer already.
So who loved the flight to Jerusalem most? Record breaker.
You win all the.
Winner.
Who eats more? I'm adding question.
Okay.
Who eats more?
It's still my husband that eats more. I don't eat like that.
Okay. I will ask the last one. Who says sorry first? You see him? Finally, my brethren. Ephesians 6:12. Finally, my brethren.
That's a good one.
Today is awesome. Today is wonderful. Today is fantastic. Dr. Funmi and Engineer John, we really appreciate your presence. Yeah. And on behalf of the people at home, we want to say thank you because we know you two are very, very busy. Yeah. For taking time to be here today. We didn't take it for granted that you allow us to have you on the program, and that's why we are begging. Actually, that's the word.
We are begging.
We are begging. We are pleading on behalf of the viewers so that we can finish up with this. We still want to have you some other time to complete. There's always an unfinished business. Maybe if this program runs 2 hours, we'll be able to finish all the questions. Yeah. There's always an unfinished business. Until next time when you will come to finish the unfinished business, we want to appreciate the viewers. Yeah. Let's go ahead and look. All of them are still here right now. Yeah. I want to appreciate Debbie Oyeniran, Temitope Oludayo, Ayokunle Olufemi, Francis all the way from Canada. I really appreciate you, Francis Imerion, and the wife, Abolaji Aremu, KG Adetilewa. We can't, if we have mentioned your name before and we are unable to mention it right now, we're sorry about that. There are a lot of people online today. Thank you very much. Before you go, one last word to the viewers. Appreciation from you, sir, and to the viewers. One last word before we go.
Well, we appreciate the viewers. We appreciate our host for today. We've had enough time, and we are glad to be part of the program today. And we also hope to come up again. Thank you, sir.
Wow, I love that. I love that. If it is coming from Rajon, that is fantastic.
Let it come from Doctor first.
No, Doctor.
Okay.
Doctor na my party.
Okay.
Na my personal person. If Rajon will say it, I don't mind. But Rajon to say, for me, I will always talk to Doctor. Thank you very much. Viewers at home, this is SeyiFunmi of Marriage is Beautiful. We really appreciate you.
Marriage Affair.
And this is Marriage Affairs, and we want to say thank you for staying with us today all through the program. The program will be on YouTube by the grace of God tomorrow. Don't try to search for it tonight because there will be a lot of things. One or two. YouTube will have to put adverts and some other things, and then we might not be able to processing it might be a bit late. You might not be able to get it. But tomorrow,
send the link. Tomorrow
we'll be sending you the link in the evening. Tomorrow you will be able to watch the program. Thank you for coming. Until next week, Oni, when we will be next week, I think it's going to be on Instagram. Next week will be on Instagram.
Yeah.
Please, for viewers now, meet us on Instagram next week. It will be you and us, no guests. We'll be talking to you live and direct, and we'll be talking about marriage in this generation, in this dispensation, marriage in this dispensation. Please come with your question. You know me, I will always say it the way, and I know Funmi very well. She know the close mouth. She know the. I don't want to talk again. Until next week, when we'll come across your way again, SeyiFunmi is saying, thank you. We love you. Bye. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.